A Swamico family is still picking up the pieces, literally, after a house party almost a year ago, a party that happened at their home while they were away on vacation. They want you to see and hear what happened so it won't happen to you.
When I came walking into the living room, I had my socks on and my feet were getting wet. And the smell of the house, it smelled like a college frat party.
Terry Gronski is a collector of antiques, of cherished family keepsakes, of special gifts given to her by family and friends.
Every single time I picked up a piece of broken glass, I cried because it was something of mine that was ruined. I didn't even know what it was.
In January, the Gronskis came back from a trip to the Wisconsin Dells to find their home in chaos. Beer dripping down the walls, food stuck in the caribou's antlers, chairs, and her baby buggy broken.
Somebody had sat in it, and it's now totally ruined. It's all smashed. It was all smashed and ruined.
The list goes on. Water stains on the hutch, wine glasses from their wedding missing and presumed broken, a crate of antique glass eggs smashed, family photos ripped off a school project.
The worst part was when we lifted up the tablecloths. They had been left on, and the table is damaged. They were playing quarters, and you can see here where they damaged the table.
And residue from the fire extinguisher ate away at the 138-year-old hardwood floor. But none of that compared to the devastating loss of their family pet.
We don't know if she was literally run over in the driveway by a heavy vehicle and backed over, or if she was hit going down the road by a fast-moving vehicle. But when my dad got here, the first thing he saw was massive amounts of blood, all from about that area all the way up to the snowbank.
This is her garden, and it turned out beautiful.
The Gronskis say it could have been even worse. They found out their miniature pony was brought into the house during the party.
It was awful. The first couple weeks that I went out to do my barn chores and stuff, she would literally pin me against the pen, and I couldn't bring out her harness because she would start bucking around. And because the kids wouldn't come forward and be honest with us, I don't know exactly what they did to her, but they definitely traumatized her.
And Terry and Brian Gronski are joining us this morning to talk more about their story. You may recognize at least Terry. They own the pumpkin place. She's been on Good Day Wisconsin many times talking about the pumpkins during Halloween. Thank you both for being here.
Thanks for having us.
So it was last January.
Yeah.
January of this year, you went away to the Dells for a vacation with your two boys.
Right.
Who was at your house? Who did you leave the house in the care of?
We left the care of the property in our house and our farm with a young man who was the son of a close friend of ours, still friends of ours, somebody we had known for their whole life, somebody who over the course of 6 to 7 years became a part of our family, like our third son. And we had given him a lot of responsibility on our farm in the past, and he had really never, ever let us down. He had watched our house prior to this incident several weeks while we went on family vacations and so forth without incident. So
you had every trust in him. So what happened? How did it get out of hand?
Well, I think some things happened in this young man's life over the course of a couple of weeks, and then this particular weekend when we left the house in his care, we had given him specific instructions, as we always had, no drinking, as my wife would always say as we walked out the door, no other illegal or immoral activity. But what had happened is he had shown some indiscretion and invited a few more than just one or two friends, which we usually allowed for him to watch movies with. That grew very quickly from 5, 6, 7, 8 to 12 to 20 to somewhere north of 40 as a result of the texting capabilities that we have today with cell phones.
So you believe it was that, people started texting, there's a party going on, and so then it was far-reaching to people that this person didn't even know?
Oh yeah, I would guess that over half of the people at the party were someone this young man may have seen but didn't know were not close friends of his, that showed up as a result of another party being broken up and just decided, hey, here's a place to go.
Terry, let's talk about the damage that happened. When you first got to the house, do you remember how you felt?
Oh gosh, it was devastating. It was such a violation of our space. you know, you see people live through fires and floods and loss, and you can't imagine until you go through it yourself. And to think that it's something that was so unnecessary, it was an act of Mother Nature, that would be one thing, but it was the act of just pure stupidity.
There were a few things that we didn't even talk about in the story. The stereo system was blown from it being too loud. Equipment was taken from the garage, ice fishing equipment.
Oh, yeah.
Anything else taken from the house?
Property stolen. Just envelopes of cash. Anywhere we had any cash laying around, you know, jars of coins and things like that. The kids' iPods, their Christmas gifts, some of their things from last year's Christmas, iPods, MP3 players, video games, anything like that. Things were taken out of their bedrooms. Yeah.
How are they dealing with it?
They have been amazing. It's been such a learning thing for our family. It's been very, very difficult. They will never be the same again. They're not quite as trusting. They, for a long time, didn't feel safe in their own home. But they are dealing with it really, really. They're troopers, and yeah, they're coming along. They've come a long way. We're still struggling. You're bringing out the holiday decorations and things, because we had to put all of that stuff away as we were cleaning last year, and it's bringing a lot of it back again. And
yeah, there was a picture of your boys in front of the Christmas tree with Benelli, your family dog. That's got to be pretty painful this time of year to see that.
Yeah.
How much money, Brian, is it going to cost for you to repair and replace everything? Any estimate?
Just in what we lost from the theft and replacing items, including carpeting and flooring repairs and things like that, somewhere north of $24,000 just in the loss and recovery of the physical things.
It's unbelievable, and I know from talking to the Sheriff's Department, the investigation continues. Will there be any charges?
There have been a few charges already filed against a few of the young people that were there. There's an ongoing investigation that we can't really speak to related to some of the other things that happened at the party. So we'll have to wait to see.
Okay, well, I want to share some tips that I got from Captain Jeff Sanborn with the Brown County Sheriff's Department so that it doesn't happen to you. He says if you're going to be leaving for the holidays, be sure that you know who's going to be watching your house. Be very careful who you select. Let your neighbors know that you'll be gone so they can keep an eye out too. Ask police to do some extra patrols of your neighborhood. He says they would rather be proactive rather than reactive, so don't be afraid to ask police to drive by your house once in a while. In any case, to prevent robberies from your house during the day or at night or while you're gone, leave the lights on in your house, put extra lighting outside, and even add an inexpensive alarm. Those are some safe ways to protect easy ways to protect your house. And finally, why did you want to tell your story today?
We really wanted to help people understand the potential for things to get out of hand and how they can get out of hand. We also wanted to kind of relate to people that in all of this, what we found the most discouraging was the lack of respect for our property, both by the young people and then in working with lots of the parents afterwards, the kind of nonchalant attitude that they had. You know, we can do all those great things to try and protect our own homes, but really as a community, in order to help protect one another, we need to teach our kids respect. We need to teach them what they can do once they get themselves in a situation that they don't know how to get themselves out of, like call an adult, call your parents, call the police, call somebody that's maybe your older brother or sister that can come and help, you know, get the situation back in hand. But most of all, for parents to help their young people to understand how to respect other people's things, and then if something does happen, what to do to help those people then get through it going forward. One person had made a call, 911, or to a parent. It might have made all the difference.
Somebody could have stopped it. Somebody could have stopped a lot of pain.
Thank you both for sharing your story.
Well, thank you.
We wish you a very peaceful and Merry Christmas this season.
Thank you.
We'll be right back. You're watching Good Day, Wisconsin.